Good day, grade 10 learners. Welcome to our mathematics lesson. I'm Skolile Nguge, and this lesson is probably brought to you by the Gauteng Department of Education. Right, are you ready for the lesson, grade 10s? I hope so. Today we're going to be using our calculators, so please make sure that you have your calculator with you, because you only have time to be borrowing calculators during the lesson. Make sure that your calculator is there with you. Let's do that. Make sure you have your calculator. If you don't have your calculator, today's lesson is going to be very, very difficult for you. Okay? Make sure you have your calculator with you. So make sure you have your book. Your stationery that you need for the lesson must be there. Okay? Are we ready? We're going to start our lesson now. Right. Today we're going to learn something in trigonometric grade 10s. We're going to learn about trigonometric equations. Okay, what type of equations do you know, grade 10s? We have done algebraic equations, isn't it? Okay, right. Now today we're going to learn about trigonometric equations. We're going to solve trigonometric equations today. Right. We have something that we have learned in the previous lessons, grade 10s. We have learned about algebraic equations. We're going to use our knowledge about algebraic equations in today's lesson. We have learned about trigonometric ratios. We're going to use our knowledge about trigonometric ratios. Okay, right. So today's lesson is going to be very, very simple. We're doing almost the same thing throughout the whole lesson, but what I'm going to be doing, okay, I'll give you the first two examples, and then from example 3, I'll be saying example, activity, example, activity, example, activity. We have about 6 activities that we have to do for the different types of trigonometric equations. But you'll see, it's almost the same thing throughout, okay? Right. So it'll be example, activity, like that, till we finish. Okay? Right. Now, what are we doing when we are solving trigonometric equations? What do you think? While you're thinking, remember our WhatsApp line, 064 748 8913. Send us your questions. We need to interact, Cretans. Okay, feel free. Feel free. Enjoy the lesson. Ask questions. You must learn, isn't it? Okay, feel free. 064 748 8913. Let's send questions. Let's send input. I say you're moving fast. Can you slow down a bit? We'll do that. Say I did not understand that. We'll repeat that. Okay, whatever I did not understand. Okay, right. Now, so what are we doing when we are solving trigonometric equations? Have you ever seen an equation that is trigonometric? Okay, let me tell you. When solving a trigonometric equation, we are solving for an angle. We are finding an angle. Okay? Right, let me show you something. Right, if I say, what is sine 30 degrees? You can use your calculator. You are getting the ratio, which is half. Okay? Sine 30 degrees is half. Remember special angles? Right. Now we found the ratio. Now, if I say sine, let me today use x instead of theta, is equals to half. What is x? What is the angle? You see that? And then how do we find this 30 here? Because sine x is equal to half is 30. So the angle is 30, isn't it? How do we find that 30? That's what we're doing in today's lesson. So we are solving trigonometric equations. We are finding the angle. What are we doing? We are finding the angle. Okay? Right. Which angles are we finding? We are finding the angles in the first quadrant. Right. For cos x, this angles from 0 included, up to 90 degrees, 90 included, in the first quadrant. Remember the meaning of this bracket. It means included. Okay? And then for sine x, also, our x, the angle will be between, no, not between, from 0 up to 90. 0 and 90, they are included. You see that? Okay? So it's the first quadrant. But now tan x, x will be a bit different because from 0, and then 90 is not included because tan 90 degrees is undefined. Try to put that in the calculator. Just say tan 90 and see what you're getting. I said you must have your calculators today. Okay? What do you get? You see you're getting an error, isn't it? Right. So there'll be an asymptote there. We'll see that when you're doing trigonometric functions. Okay? Right. That's why this bracket here means that not included. You see that? So that's what we're going to be doing in today's lesson. But there are some misconceptions, okay, that I want us to discuss. Okay? Right. Misconceptions. Common mistakes that we do. I want us to talk about those common mistakes, okay? Right. Now, when solving trigonometric equations, remember to isolate the trigonometric term. I'm going to be emphasizing this as we progress. It's not a misconception, this one is a point that you need to remember, okay? The first misconception that I want to talk about, sine theta is not equal to sine times theta, please. Remember what sine theta means, Cretans. It means sine of angle theta. That's what it means. So you cannot say sine times theta. No. Sine theta. Remember I said you cannot write something like this. There's nothing like this which exists on its own. Sine of what? Doesn't make sense. So is sine of angle theta. Is sine of angle x. Is sine of angle A. cosine of angle A, something like that, okay? So what I'm saying here, it does not apply to sine theta only. It applies to all the trigonometric equations, okay? Oh, sorry, trigonometric ratios, okay? So remember that you cannot separate sine and theta there. Sine of angle theta, it must be written like this. And these two things are not equal. Don't forget that. Okay, I want you to write this as misconception. Just write this part. Don't write the whole thing. Just write sine theta not equal. Please, not equal. Don't write equal. Not equal to sine times theta. Just do that. Okay, we're going to be writing a lot today again. So it's calculator and writing. We're going to be writing and using the calculator. And then this one also, we know our distribution from algebraic expressions, but we don't do that here. This is cosine of angle theta plus 24. So this theta plus 24, what is it? It is our angle. Cosine of angle theta plus 24. So theta plus 24 is the angle. You cannot distribute cos and start saying cos theta plus cos 24. Don't make that mistake. From grade 10, remember, you're starting your trigonometry in grade 10. Grade 11, there is trigonometry. Grade 12, there is trigonometry. I don't want to see this mistake till you write your metric examination, even after. Don't make those mistakes, okay, grade 10s? Right. Now, I've talked about this. Theta is the angle. Don't distribute, okay, the trig term. Right, now we're starting. Your calculator must be there with you. I'm going to show you. Your calculator may be a bit different from this one, but they're almost the same, isn't it? Okay, if you have this one, then it's good. How do we find our angle? Right, sine x is equal to 0,5. What is the angle? We did this one, 0,5, remember, is half. Okay? So, but I want you to see it from the calculator. I want you to be able to learn how to use the calculator. The first two examples, I'll be showing you how to use the calculator. Then after that, you must be knowing how to use it, okay? I won't be showing you after. From example 3, I'm not showing you the calculator, okay? Right. So now, this is our sine term. Okay, see that calculator? Cos. If you say cos 30, we'll get our answer. Sine 30, we get our answer. Tan 30, we get our answer. Now, when you're finding the angle now, you are doing the inverse. Okay? We are calculating for an angle. We are calculating for an angle that gives us the ratio 0,5. That's what we're doing. When you're solving for this, we're calculating for our angle x. That must give us the ratio. Opposite side over hypotenuse side is equal to 0,5. What is that angle? So what do? We have to use the inverse function. And fortunately, that inverse function is there in our calculator. Can you see it? Can you see the inverse functions for trig ratios in the calculator? Look at your calculator. Do you see them? You see there? This one. That's the inverse for sine theta, inverse for cos theta, inverse for tan theta. But they are in the what? They are the second functions. They are not the first functions. They are the second functions. So now if we want to use them, we have to shift to the second function. Okay, let's do it together. Now I want you to press shift because we want to go to the second function. Press shift. There is shift. You see where there's a red button there? There's shift. Okay? And then press your sign. That's your second function there. Press that. Okay? So now you must be having something like this in your calculator. If you look at the calculator screen, and then open bracket like that. You see that? Okay? Then we can enter our ratio now, 0,5. Then let's enter 0,5. Entering 0,5 is not a problem, okay? Enter 0,5. And then after entering your 0,5, you may close your bracket. Close your bracket. Okay? So you must have something like this now. Check your screen. Do you have something like that? Okay? Now press the equal sign. Press the equal sign. What do you get? See? Wait, no, here. Perfect. Do you see 30 there in your screen? That's the angle. We've managed to get the angle. Right, can you try to do it again? Right, start afresh. Right, let's do it together. Okay, what do we do? You press shift, press shift, press the sign to get the second function, arc sign. Okay, the inverse of sine. And then we have the bracket, the opening bracket, press 0, 0,5, close bracket, press equals. Do you get 30? If you're not getting 30, please tell us. We want to know. Send us your WhatsApp, 064 okay? Right, that's how we use the calculator. So we're going to do the same thing for all the ratios, folks. Sine, inverse of sine, inverse of cos theta, inverse of tan theta, okay? The term that I'm going to use today for the inverse of these ones, the inverse of sine theta, I'll say arc sine. It means the inverse of sine theta. Arc cos, it means the inverse of cos theta. Arc tan, it means the inverse of tan theta, okay? Right, so now when you're finding the angles, we say arc sine, arc cos, arc tan, okay? Right, let's move on to the next one. After a second example, remember, I'm not going to be showing you how to use the calculator. You must be knowing now, okay? Let's go to the second one. Right, you want to try before I show you? Do you want to try before I show you? Okay, try 1 minute. 1 minute is too much. 30 seconds. I'm not going to go anywhere. Just 30 seconds. Try to use the calculator to find our angle theta. 30 seconds. I think 30 seconds is up. Did you manage to do it? Okay, what do we do? We go to shift. Let's go to shift. Maybe you've done it already. Okay, go to shift. And then we press the inverse of cos theta. Okay, the inverse of cos theta then. Okay, press that, the inverse of cos theta. Okay, this is the inverse of cos theta. And then open bracket. Oh, the bracket will be already open for you. Okay, and then put your 0, comma, don't make mistakes, 0, 3, 5. Where's 5? What happened? 5, and then 7. Enter 7, and then close the bracket. Close the bracket after that, and then press equal sign. Press equal sign. Do you see your answer on the screen? Okay, mine is still blank, but let me see. Yes. Where is it? Here. Okay. 69,08393035. Okay. This is our answer before rounding off. So we have to round off our answer. So it's 69,08 degrees. Because of the 3 here, this 8 will not change. Okay. It will be 69,08 degrees. Okay. Right. So now I want us to go to example 3. Right. But before we go to example 3, let's see. It says what? Solve the following equation. We've been doing this. I want you to try this. I'm going to give you 1 minute to try this before I explain. It's an example, yes, but I'm going to give you 1 minute. I've been talking since the beginning of the lesson. Now, 1 minute. Let's try. Welcome back, grade 10s. Welcome back. You are not sending us feedback today. Okay, please send us your questions 064 748 8913. We'll really appreciate that. Okay, even your work, want to see your work, you can send us your work. Okay, just take a picture and send us your work. If you don't understand something, please ask. Okay, right. We must understand trigonometric equations in today's lesson. Right. What did you do, grade 10s? Are we going to continue using our calculators? Yes, we are going to continue using the calculator, but I'm not going to show you now. You know what to do, isn't it? Right. Now, there's a point that I raised when we're talking about the misconceptions there. I said it's not a misconception, but it's a very, very important point. Right. When solving trigonometric equations, grade 10s, make sure that the trigonometric term is isolated. What do I mean by that? It means that it must be on its own. Remember, an equation has the left-hand side and the right-hand side. So now, on the right-hand side, it must be cos theta. If you're solving for theta, let me use x. Okay, if you're solving for x, it should be cos x on the left-hand side, or sine x, or tan x. Only. Everything else must go to the right. That's what I mean by saying isolating the trigonometric ratio, or the term. Okay, cos theta, sine theta, tan theta. It must be on its own. That's the first step. Now, let's check our equation here. Is cos theta standing on its own? Yes, it is. So that is very easy for us because cos theta is on its own here. So you see that? This is cos theta. Now we can find the inverse of that, which is arc cos. Arc cos 0,5. Okay? And then cos theta is isolated. Good. We're fine with that. And then arc cos 0,5. Now you have to use your calculator for that. What do you get? Right, you get 60 degrees. Did you get 60 degrees? Let's mark our work. The marks that I'm going to give you today is not necessarily the marks that you're going to get in the exam, but the steps that I want you to follow. Remember, I said example, activity. Example, activity. So I'm marking the steps that I'm saying you must follow, okay? Right, so you have that step. Let's mark it. You have this step. Let's mark it. Our cos theta was already what? Isolated. If it was not isolated, I was going to give you the mark for isolating cos theta, okay? Right. Now, let's go to the activity now, okay? It's similar to this. So we're going to be having different types of what? Trigonometric equations. This is the easiest one. Now, let's go to the next one. Try this one on your own. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Welcome back, grade 10s. Did you manage to get the answers? I hope so. I hope so, grade 10s. Let's see. Let's mark our work now. Right. Is our tan theta already isolated? Answer the questions. Answer them in the classroom. You can say yes or no. Right. Is tan theta already isolated? Yes. Ne? Yes, it is isolated. Why? Because it is on its own on the left-hand side. So that step is fine. So tan theta is already isolated. And then we find arc tan, the inverse. Okay? The inverse of tan theta. Now, shift and then tan theta, then 4,123, close bracket, equals. Okay, what did you get? Right, we're getting 76,36,36,4155. But we say round off to 2 decimal places. It means there must be 2 numbers after the comma. If they say 2 decimal places, 2 numbers after the comma. Okay, so it means our numbers must end here. But because of this 6, which is greater than 5, this 6 is going to change. This one is going to change and become 7. So we have 76,37. So we have this step, mark that. We have this step, mark that. We have this step, mark that. Okay? Right. We're done with the first type of our equations. We're going to another one. Okay? They look the same. There's a small difference. There's a small difference. I want you to try to check the difference there. Okay? Right. Do you see this one? I hope you are writing your equations. I want you to see the difference in the next one. Tell me the difference between this one and the next one I'm going to show you. Okay? Right, let's go. Right, what is the difference here? What is the difference? Should I go back? Okay, see tan theta is equal to 4,123, and then we go there. What is the difference? Now our trigonometric ratio is joined by something on the left-hand side. You see that? This 0,357 is also on the left-hand side. So what are we going to do with it? Because we want this one to be on its own on the left-hand side. It must be on its own. So what should we do? Oh, we know about our algebraic equations, grade 10s. We learned about algebraic equations last year, even this year. Okay? Right. What we do on the left, we do on the right. Inverse operations. Okay? Right. But now I'm going to be talking about transposing. We're going to transpose our 0,357 to the left hand side, to the right hand side, and it becomes plus positive 0,357. You see that? And then now I have my sine theta isolated, standing on its own. That's a step. Okay? That's the first step I want you to do. Remember, it's example, activity, example, activity. Example and activity are what? Are the same. Similar. Right. Now, we're going back to what we've been doing. Let's find our inverse, arcsine, and then arcsine 0,357. What do we get? We're getting what? We're getting theta is equals to 20,9160, going on like that. We round it off to 2 decimal places. What is it? Theta is equals to 20,92 degrees. Do you see that? Okay, let's mark our work. We isolated now. We managed to isolate. We have our expression for the inverse. We have our answer before rounding off. And we have rounded off correctly. Mark that. Okay? I want to see these 4 steps. Okay? Right. Write this thing. Let me give you a few minutes. Maybe not minutes, 30 seconds for you to write these things down. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Let's just make sure we copy everything. This and this and this and this and this. 30 seconds. Let's try. Okay. Right. Are you managing? Let's see. Should we go to the question? I want to see these 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Right. Let's go to the next one. Yes. Let's do this one. All the 4 steps. Okay. Let's try. I'm going to give you. Let me give you 2 minutes. Let me give you 2 minutes now. Let's try. Right, welcome back, grade 10s. I have a few questions. Oh, I have one question from Esibonile Sihle Comprehensive School. Question is, when is it necessary to use a shift when dealing with ratios? Okay, I'll go back a bit to the previous slide and then we discuss that so that they are not left behind. And then thank you very much to Topili High School, Altimont Technical High for participating. You are participating. Thank you very much. Let's continue trying our best. Right, let me try to answer this question now. Okay, because the question is not meant for Isibonile Sihle only. Your question will also help someone who's also not understanding, isn't it? Okay, let's continue sending those questions. Right, I'll go back a bit so that I can show you the difference between the use of the inverse and the use of the first function. Okay, right. Now, okay, we're saying, let me use this one and the answer here. Okay, round it off. Because of rounding off, the answer may not be necessarily 0.357. Okay, so now I'll start with this. I'll say, what is sine 20.92 degrees? I'm using this angle here. What will be sine 20.92 degrees? What do you think the answer will be? Just check this part and the answer here. Okay, this 20.92 degrees is the angle. Okay, so if you say sine 20.92, you are going to get this 0.357. You can try that, but our answer may not necessarily be exact because we rounded off here. You see that? Okay, but it will be almost that. Now, that is sine 20.90 degrees. But now, the equation we're saying, what is theta if sine theta is 0.357? You see that? So now, initially we had this, we are finding this. Now we have the ratio, we are finding the angle. Okay, that is very, very important. You are using the shift button when you are finding what? When you are finding the angle. Okay, like today when you're solving trigonometric equations, we are finding the angles. We have to use the shift button. Okay, right. Please let us know if that helped you. If you still need a clarification, please send us another question. Okay, right. Let's go back and mark our work. Right, what did you do, grade 10s? Did you isolate cos theta? Well done, well done, well done. Now you isolate cos theta, you get that, mark that, because we're transposing, okay, negative 0.375. It's like I like this number, 0.375, right? And then what do we do after that? We find the inverse, right? Cos theta is attached to cos theta here. Remember, I said this is not times. So what is the inverse of cos theta? We arc cos, shift, and then you get theta is equal to arc cos 0.375 like this. You mark that. Did you write it like that? And then put this in the calculator. Don't forget to say shift. What do you get? Theta is equals to 67.97568.7, going on like that. And then we're supposed to round off to 2 decimal places. So it is 67.98. Right. How many people got 4 out of 4? Well done, grade 10s, well done. Right, I really hope that the first equation and the second type of the equation, we are fine now. Let's go to the third one. Okay, let's go to the third one. It's going to be different. What will be the difference? Okay, or you need time to make corrections. Okay, let me give you 30 seconds. Right, just write this. Okay, just 30 seconds. Right, welcome back. Remember our WhatsApp line 064-748-8913. Okay, send us your questions, send us your input, send us your work, ask questions. We'll always answer you. Right. Now, do you remember the first one that we did? What was it? It was like this. I remember. Can I remember? Let me write. Maybe to be similar. It was like cos theta. Maybe. Was equal to 0.5. Okay. Now, let's try to compare this type and this type. What is the difference there? Is sine theta standing on its own? Is it isolated? No, it's not isolated. What is there with sine theta? That 2, this 2, the coefficient here. It has to go. It has to go to the right-hand side. So what must we do? Now this one is 2 times sine theta, right? 2 sine theta is 2 times. Don't say it, we mustn't put times. Okay, the times should not be between sine and theta, okay? Right, 2 times sine theta. Now we're solving an equation. We do the inverse operation. What is the inverse of multiplying? Remember, in mathematics, there are 4 operations: multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. The inverse of multiplication is division. The inverse of addition is subtraction, okay? So now to solve an equation, we use the inverse. Right, what is the inverse of multiplication? Is division, okay? Or remember, you used to do multiplicative inverses in grade 9, okay? So we can multiply by 1/2 both sides, or just divide by 2 on both sides. Let me use that, okay? So we're dividing by 2 on both sides. You see that? Then 2 divided by 2 is 1, and then sine theta is equal to half, okay? Sine theta is equal to half. 0.5 is the same thing as half, okay? So let me show you. Use your fraction, because the fraction does not what? Does not round off. So it does not compromise accuracy. So you can use half as it is. Do you know the function for fraction, or the fraction function? Let me show you. Okay, you have your calculator like this. There is this function here, this one, okay? So that function is a fraction one, okay? You can put your 1 and then over 2. You can put 3 over 2 there, and then you close your brackets, okay? You can use that function for fractions, okay? Right now, can you try now? Let's find our theta. We arc sine, and then arc sine. What is arc sine? 0.5. So theta is equals to 30 degrees, okay? Okay, did you understand that part? I really hope so. Let's see. Maybe you think, oh, okay, I understood, but not much. Let me see. Okay, we're going to see by the activity if you're going to get the activity or not, okay? Sometimes you may be doubting yourself, only to find that you understood the thing. Right, let's check that with our activity. Okay, try this on your own. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 minute. 1 minute. Right, welcome back, grade 10s. Right, thank you very much for participating. Hammanskraal Secondary School, Magaliesberg Secondary School, Scott Paula Secondary School, and there is a question from Atimold Technical High. Okay, I'm going to answer that one as we move on. Okay, it's about decimal places. Okay, is it necessary to write them? Okay, we'll answer that as I do this one, the one we are doing now. Okay, right. Thank you very much for your input. Thank you very much. Right. So what did you do, grade 10s? We divide by 4 on both sides of the equation. We want to get rid of this 4 so that we remain with cos theta. So we divide by 4 on both sides of the equation. Some people can say, I'm going to multiply by the multiplicative inverse. You multiply by 1 over 4 on both sides of the equation, okay? Right, so you can do that. So now, if we divide both sides by 4, 4 divided by 4, we get 1. We remain with cos theta is equals to 0.375. This number keeps on coming back. Right, it's fine, but we are learning, isn't it? Okay, you are learning. Right, so now, theta, what do we do? Okay, theta, what do we do? We find a cos. Go to inverse shift, then cos, and then 0.375, close your bracket, equals, what do you get? Oh, we have this first, this expression first. And then what do you get after that? We get this number, 67.97568716, and then the final answer, which is 67.98. Right, remember, grade 10s, I said today what I'm marking the steps, and we are still learning, isn't it? It's not an examination, but in the examination, there are things that are going to give you marks. Like rounding off, you can have your answer from this step and you write your answer, is still fine. You're not going to lose any marks, okay? But now, grade 10s, we still have problems about what? Rounding off. That's why I have this step for you, okay? So that we learn how to what? To round off. But in the exam, you can move from this step to this step. Now, how do we round off here? Because of the 5. Because of the 5, right? This 7 is going to change and become what? And become 8. Do you know how to round off, isn't it? If the number is below 5, if it's 2 decimal places, if the third decimal place here, the number is below 5, this number will not change. But if it's 5 or more, it will change, okay? So make sure that you round off correctly. Okay, have you marked your work? Even the answer, final answer? Well done, grade 10s, well done. Right, and then we're going to the 4th type of an equation. 4th type. We've done how many? 3 of them so far. Right, 4th one. Right. Now, what do we do here? How do we isolate cos here? Okay, which one is our angle here? Okay, right. Now, the angle for this equation is 2a. This is your angle. Okay, right. So you are isolating cos 2a, and fortunately cos 2a is already isolated, is already on its own on the left hand side. So now we just need to find a cos of 0.435, and our angle is 2a. We are finding 2a. Okay, let's do that. Right, so the expression will become, the angle is 2a there, becomes 2a is equals to a cos 0.435. What is the angle? Use your calculator. What do you get? Just punch in your calculator, enter it to calculator. 2a is equals to 64,21470612. Right. This is our angle, 2a. But remember, we're solving for a. Now, how do we get a? Okay. What do we do? Divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2. So we're going to divide. Did I divide? Yes, I divided. 2 into 2, 1. And then 64,21470612 divided by 2, you get this. Now you have your A there, which is 32,11 degrees. Did you see that? What is the most important thing that I want you to learn? It's different from the others. This angle thing here. If I say tan 3 theta, what is the angle? It is the 3 theta. Okay? So you find your arctan. Then after getting that angle, then you can divide by 3 after that. Okay? Right. Now, are you ready to do the activity? Same thing. Let me give you 30 seconds for you to what? To copy these steps. And then after 30 seconds, I take you to the activity. Let's do that. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to wait for you here for 30 seconds. Okay. Are we okay with time? Are you managing? Am I moving fast? Are you fine? We need to know that so that we move together. Okay. Right. Now let's move to the activity. We're almost done. Maybe we're left with one or two more and then we'll be done. Right. And then you think you can try this one? Let's try it. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Let's try. Right. Welcome back, grade 10s. Did you manage to do the activity? Is it easy? Okay. Right. Thank you very much, Kulto Taro Secondary School, for participating. And then Hammanskraal Secondary School, what is to transpose? Thank you very much for that question, because some of the things we may think that we know what these terms mean, while they are giving us problems. Okay. Right. Let me just explain transposing before we mark our work. Okay. Remember in grade 9, grade 10s, we used to say, what you do on the left, you do on the right, isn't it? We're not used to say, we're still doing it, but transposing makes our things easy. Okay, right. So let's say let me use a simple algebraic equation. Let's say I have 2x plus 3 is equals to x minus 2. Okay, right. Now to solve this equation, I must subtract 3 on both sides of the equation, isn't it? So that I can say 2x plus 3 minus 3 is equals to x minus 2 minus 3. Then I get 2x is equals to x minus 5. You see that? And then the x is still on the right hand side. I must also subtract it on both sides of the equation. So 2x minus x is equals to minus 5. So it then becomes x is equals to minus 5. You see that? So what I've done was something on the left hand side. I must do the same thing on the right hand side. But when you're transposing, we can easily move things. Some people say jumping the equal sign. Okay, jumping the equal sign. We're saying this 3, positive 3, will jump the equal sign and come this side and become negative 3. And then this x will jump the equal sign and come this side and become negative x. You see that? So that's what transposing means. You are moving to the other side of the equal sign, and the term must change its sign. Okay, thank you very much for that question. Right, let's mark our work. Let's mark our work. What did you do? The angle is 2x, so we don't touch it. It remains as it is. So, and then we say 2x is equals to arctan 1,25, and then we can find this using our calculators. What did you get? And then we get what? 2x is equals to 51,34019175. And then what do we do to get x? We divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. We remain with x. And then x is equals to 25,67 after rounding off. You see that? Let's mark our work. Do we have that? Do we have that? Do we have that? I'm just marking steps. Remember, I told you. Right, okay. Now, let's go to our which example? Example 7. Example 7. Okay? Right. Now, I want to explain example 7. I will explain example 7 and then I'll give you time to do the last one. Okay? Right. Now, give me time to explain example 7. So now, it's a combination, sort of. Remember, our angle is 2x, and then we have this coefficient here. So what must we do? To get rid of half, we must multiply by 2. We must multiply by 2 on both sides of the equation, isn't it? Okay? The inverse. Half is like division by 2. The inverse is multiplication. So we multiply by 2 on both sides of the equation. Our angle is 2x. Okay? So isolate 2x. We have this. We've multiplied by 2. See, I've multiplied by 2 this side. I've multiplied by 2 this side. And then 2 into 2 is 1. Then we remain with cos 2x. Can you write this one down? Please write these 3 down. This and this and this. Write them down. Okay. So now we're going back to our previous activity. Do you see that? It's just similar to what we've been doing all along. So this thing there, the new thing that I've introduced is just this coefficient, okay, with the angle there 2x. You see that? Okay. And then what do we do? Arc cos 0,7. What do you get? Arc cos 0,7. So 2x is what? Write this step. Write it down. 2x is equal to arc cos 0,7. Okay. What do we get? Enter arc cos 0,7 into your calculator. Enter it into your calculator. What do you get? 2x is equals to 45,572996. Okay. Right. And then what do we do? 2x is equal to 45,572996. Then what do we do to get x? Great tens. What do we do? We divide both sides by 2. Divide by 2. So x is equal to what? Divide 45,572996 divided by 2. What do you get? Okay. We're getting x is equal to 22,79. Do you see that? Okay. Right. So we're having an activity similar to this. I'm going to explain it like we did here. Okay. We're going to do it again together. And then we go to the last one. Right. Now, I have 1 over 3 times cos 3x is equal to 0,12. What do we do here, great tens? You can say your answers verbally in the classroom. What do we do? We multiply both sides by 3. Very good. The inverse of 1 over 3 is 3 over 1, isn't it? We're multiplying by 3 over 1. Remember, 3 over 1 is 3. So we're multiplying both sides by 3. Just write this one down. Okay. Let me write this so that also I know that once I'm done this side, you're also done. Right. So 1 over 3 cos 3x is equals to 0,12. Right. We've done that. Then we multiply both sides by 3. Okay. We've agreed that we're going to multiply both sides by 3. Okay. Let's write that step. 3 times 1 over 3 cos 3x is equals to 0,12 times 3. Okay. You see that our angle is 3x. Okay. Right, and then we say 3 into 3 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So what do we remain with? We remain with cos 3x is equals to 0, 0.36. And then what do we do from there, grade 10s? We find a cos 0, 0.36 to find 3x, isn't it? Right, it's going to be 3x is equals to inverse of cos 0, 0.36, like that, okay? You see that? We have that. Right, let's enter our inverse. Our cos 0, 0.36. Let's enter into our calculator. Let's enter into our calculator. Our cos 0, 0.36. What do you get? You must get this one. 3x is equal to 68,899,80398. So 3x is equal to 688,899,80398. I'm not going to round off here because I'm still calculating, okay? I'll round off my final answer. And then what do we do to get x? Say your answers verbally in the classroom. What do you do to get x? We divide both sides by? We divide both sides by 3, okay? So it's going to be 3x is equal to 68,899,80398 degrees divided by 3 this side, divided by 3 this side. Then 3 divided by 3 is 1. We remain with x. And then we must get x is equal to 22,97. Okay? Right. Okay. I was also writing down. So it means everyone is done. Okay? Right. Let's do our last one. Solve the following equation, round off your answer to 2 decimal places where necessary. Now, which one is our angle now? What is our angle? What is our angle? Is it x only? Is it negative 15 degrees? No, the whole bracket is our angle. So our angle, x minus 15 is our angle. Okay? So now we can find our inverse there. Arc sine 0.57. You can write it like this. Okay, I've said this one. So x minus 15 is equal to arc sine of 0.572. Okay, let's do that. Put arc sine, remember shift sine 0.572. What do you get? Okay, this one I'm going to give you time to do it, to do the activity. Maybe I'm going to give you 2 minutes, but this is an example, okay? Right, what do you do? What do you get? We get this will give us this. 34,88,980,992, okay? And then what do we do to get x? We are subtracting 15 this side, 15 degrees. So what must we do? We must transpose. We say transpose, meaning we're adding 15 on both sides of the equation, okay? So we are taking this negative 15 to this side of the equal sign, and then becomes positive. Let me try to emphasize something. We are only transposing if the operation is addition or subtraction, please, okay? Only. Then it becomes 34. X is equals to 34,889,80992 plus 15. Let me write it down. X is equal to 34,889,80992 degrees plus 15 degrees, because we transpose the 15 to the right hand side, and then we're getting this, okay? Right. Now, before we go, I want us to try the last one, okay? You try it. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and then after 2 minutes, we just mark our work, and then I'm going to give you homework after that. Okay, let's try the last one. Okay, 2 minutes. Right, welcome back, grade 10s. Okay, let's do this one, the last one together. Then I'll give you homework. Thank you very much for the messages from our colleagues and teachers in the classroom, our colleagues and learners. Thank you very much. It is through your input that our lessons become better. We're in this together, and let's continue trying our best. Right, and then solve. We're finding x here, and then what is our angle, grade 10s? What is our angle, grade 10s? It is our x plus 40 degrees. This is our angle, okay? So let's find our inverse. Very easy. And then let's find our inverse. So it's going to be x plus 40 degrees is equal to arc cos 0,5. Okay, can you do that? You should have done that. We're marking, isn't it? We're marking now and making corrections at the same time. Right now, x plus 40, what is arc cos 0,5? It is 60 degrees. Then we transpose. Okay, we said transpose means it's going to the other side. But remember, it changes sign. The plus 40, the positive 40 must become negative 40. And then it becomes x is equals to 60 degrees minus 40 degrees. X is equals to 20 degrees. Okay, right, did you get everything? Well done, grade 10s. So now, grade 10s, we have done almost all the types of trigonometric equations. It's your duty now to try and go back and revisit these things, do past papers, do textbooks and all those things. Make sure that you're gaining all the marks from this topic. Okay, right, and then this is your homework. I'm going to give you 1 minute to copy. You don't need to write the instruction. We know the instruction. Just copy this. So we need 1 minute for this. Okay, and then you try this one on your own, and then you can show ma'am or show say in the classroom there that say I've done this one. Is it correct? Okay, let's do that. 1 minute. Welcome back, grade 10s. Let's summarize our lesson. Thank you very much for interacting with us. We got a lot of questions, a lot of input today. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have done this part during our lesson. Remember, grade 10s, what I said? I said when you're solving a trigonometric equation, what are you finding? We are finding the angle. And then currently we're finding, grade 10, we're finding the angles in the second. What am I saying? Okay, you're finding angles in the what? In the first quadrant, okay? Right, from 0 degrees to 90 degrees. But for the tan x, the 90 degrees cannot be included because we have an asymptote there, okay? And it means undefined there, okay? We are going to know about those things when we're doing trigonometric functions, okay? Right, well, thank you very much, grade 10s. Let's meet in our next lesson. Goodbye.